Afternoon, intuitives. Fair warning, this one's not going to be very upbeat. If you've watched previous videos, remember how I said, you know, it's one thing people give advice from their past experiences about the struggles of being an INFJ or being a demisexual or having faced narcissistic abuse or bullying, hazing, retaliation, PTSD, all things I've been through. It's one thing to be able to give, good advice in hindsight, and that helps, but it's another thing when people are struggling, they want to know that they're not alone. Everybody tries to hide when they're at their worst, and I said I was going to do my best to will myself to make a video when, I was feeling really down. Well, today's the day. It's just one of those days where I just feel like I'm losing myself. I feel like the person I am and the person that was well liked when I was in the fire academy, the person I always wanted to be, when I was in a place where I could be myself and I felt free and I felt like I had purpose and agency and that life had meaning, is slipping away. I'm going to be honest, part of it probably has to do with this year. January is pretty damn depressing in general, but it's, for those of you that are not in a good place, I think you know what I'm talking about. You just have that feeling where everything you've done has been for nothing. Like all you've strived for, all you've worked for, grades, education, working long hours, overtime, everything that you've sacrificed for and did what you were told your whole life, and it paid off to nothing. And that at times will wear on you, or maybe it's the PTSD. I don't know. It could be probably all of it. And while I don't have many days like this, I tried all day to get out of this mood, and it just nothing. Can't distract my mind. Tried all types of things to focus on something. I tried escapism. I can't meditate. Now that's not good at all. And I'm just stuck in this circular pattern of thought and this impending doom, impending hopelessness that there is no light at the tunnel, that, I've held myself together about as long as I could after things fell apart, and, I don't think I'll be able to do that much longer. So that's the kind of disposition I'm talking about. Of course, I've been reflecting on things and overthinking what I could have done differently. Information I wish I knew then, if only this went this way, or that went that way, or if I talked to this person, or if I knew this about that person, or if I spoke, up sooner, and all the normal, what ifs, the past being locked in regret kind of thing. But it's more than that, because there's, that overall feeling of there's nothing I can do. I can't rebuild. I'm stuck in a hole that is unclimbable. I cannot even see daylight at the top. It's a circular pattern I've been in was, after I was wrongfully dismissed from the Arlington County Fire Department in August 24th of 2020, I for a while thought things were going to be okay. I kept thinking, well, there's questions about the grading. They'll review that and they'll just reinstate me. Nope, all right, smaller. I'll be let in the next class and have to retake the academy again, but whatever, things will work out, it'll be fine. Nope, smaller. All right, so things are going to take time, and I'm going to have to get a lawyer. But, in the meantime, I'm still living where I want to live. I have my fortress of solitude, my apartment. I can simply, find a okay, tolerable job for the time being and at least maintain that. Nope, pandemic smaller. And then I was forced to come back to Chester County. And I'm like, all right, I gotta see who's testing for fire departments around here. Who's hiring? Oh, Philly's hiring. All right. I've tested for them twice, scored in the 90s, but now I have, national certs, and I was in a professional department. I'm a shoo-in. This is, no problem. Oh no, smaller. Philly decided to change that year that you have to be a resident of the city for at least a year prior to testing. And after all that, it's, my therapist tells me you have to, savor little victories. Well, you bloody well have to have little victories to savor them. And that just seems to be where I am right now. I'm trying, obviously, to help other people when possible. I'm trying to get a NGO for bullying, hazing, retaliation, exploitation, coercive control, all things of that nature started. That'll give resources and be an advocacy group to help victims not only recover from their abuse but to tell their story because that's empowering and that's how you prevent future victims. I don't know of any better way to do it, and that also takes power away from abusers when their true nature is known and they can no longer hide it. But starting something like that's a little rough when it's just yourself. You're a nobody. You got a lot of things going on, and you gotta somehow do it all yourself. Kind of be a one-man army. Things take time, and INFJs, we're fine with time as long as things are progressing. Excuse me. Step by step, anyway. We don't need to get from like point A to point Z right away, but we need to go from A to B to C. Like there has to be constant progression in what we're working for, working towards. Yeah. And when there's not, and we're stuck, and we feel like we're not going anywhere, and we feel like the whole plan's falling apart, that can send us into a tailspin pretty quick. It's just the weight, like this. I have this invisible load that I have to shoulder, and it's getting heavy. It's getting real heavy. When it should be getting, I don't expect it to dissipate right away, but it should be getting lighter, not heavier. It's getting heavier. It's strange as more time passes, the less hope I have because things have not changed for the better for me in the past year. 2021 to me feels like a completely wasted year. Everything I worked for to get, to where I wanted to be in 2020 for 2 years prior was for nothing. Everything I've ever done in my life was for nothing. And I can sit here and whinge on about specifically what it is, but I was, working, studying, working again, going after certs and on the road for my job when most people were having a good time in their 20s. And I was told, delayed gratification, that hard work and integrity and all that pays off. The fuck it does. I got nothing. It's really sad, the big crux of it comes when, and I've stated this before on this channel, 3 main things I wanted in life. Unconditional love, hard to find. Blue rose, we know. A job that, where I could help people that gave me a sense of purpose and enough to, comfortably live middle class, firefighter. And to live in a progressive city, Arlington, Virginia. So I didn't have number 1, but I had 2 and 3. I had 2 out of 3. Now I have 0 out of 3. And that's not good. Having 2 out of 3, you're content. Life's okay. You have purpose and agency, general contentment. Even 1 out of 3, you have something to hold on to. There's hope. You haven't lost everything yet. Now have you? But when you have 0, And especially if you're back at square one yet again, and not for the first time, it can mess with you. So that sense of how it was all for nothing, on top of dealing with the abuse that you suffered, you're going to have days where it's going to get you down, and you're going to feel like there's nothing you can do. Now, fortunately, I know from experience, analytically and logically, that these feelings pass, usually after a couple days. But when you're in the depths of it, you don't think about that. You think it's never going to end. You think all is lost, there is no hope. And you just don't know what to do, because nothing has any point. Nothing has any, why try? They'll just take it away from you again, It's, that's the sad part. All I wanted ever in life was a fair shot. And I played by the rules, and I stood up for people when they were being abused, and all that ever got me was retaliation and blacklisted. Yeah. So there is something to be said about integrity, though. I still deep down know at the end of the day that this will all have some grand purpose. I truly believe that. I better start seeing signs of it soon, because I've been spinning my wheels for a year. And as you can see by the tone of my voice and the fact that I'm not making any jokes, I'm not doing so good today. But I wanted everybody to see, me when I'm down in the dumps, and see how somebody recovering from any kind of abuse, really, and they've lost their purpose and their agency in life. You're going to have days like this. And this is also to serve a message that when there's someone in your life that you care about, and they've been through like a situation similar to mine, these are the days where they need you. If they're upbeat and joking, they're doing okay that day. There's stuff you can't see below the surface, but if they're functioning, that's doing okay. If your life has been hit by an atom bomb. If you're like I am now, that's when you need to put up with their bitching and whinging, and try to somehow kick that person out of that dark mood, because it's all consuming, and you can't think your way out of it. Consciously, I know that. I know I can't think it. I can't think my way through it. The NITI loop isn't going to fix itself just by me thinking really, really hard about it. And I'll have a eureka moment, and it'll all make sense. And that happens once in a while, but as INFJs, we tend to think if we just concentrate hard enough, it'll happen every time. It doesn't. I know that. But I'm not being logical right now. I'm being emotional. So that's kind of the gist of what I wanted to post today. I might do another video. I think I have one I didn't post a few days ago. It'll be a better one than this. This is not, cool to watch. But I said I was going to be honest, and I said I was going to drag myself in front of the camera when I'm having a really down in the dumps bad day, and let you who watch these videos see what that looks like. So you want to see an INFJ at his worst, this is it. This is it. So thanks for taking the time. And, never sell out your integrity, even if it comes at a price. I ain't selling it out at this point. It's all I got. And trust your intuition. Don't second guess it. You'll regret it. And let's all hope that integrity means something and will prevail at the end of the day. I'm not sure.